Number 1. Delta. When you think of mutants, you probably picture the flashy ones, flying, throwing fireballs, or ripping through walls like it's paper. But not all mutants are in your face like that. Some, like Delta-level mutants, are more about finesse than fireworks. They're not all that flashy, but some of them are pretty badass in their own way. Take Domino, for example. Her power is her luck, but it's not the kind where she scratches lottery tickets all day. Her body instinctively tilts the odds of the universe in her favor. Bullets seem to miss, and she always finds a way out of tight spots. It's not automatic, she has to hustle, trust her instincts, and kick into gear, but it's like the universe has her back, if she moves first. Or Forge. He's not throwing punches or blasting beams. He's the mutant MacGyver. Give him a broken toaster, a pile of alien junk in 10 minutes, he'll build you a gadget that somehow saves the day. It's useful having someone around who can build future-level tech with nothing but a microwave, some gum, and a handful of paper clips. Then there's Cypher, who can understand any language, even alien or coded. Imagine cracking enemy plans like it's a Saturday morning crossword puzzle. His power might not scream hero, but the ability to bridge any communication gap is ridiculously powerful when you think about it. Delta mutants show us that not every hero needs to be loud and flashy. Sometimes it's the ones working quietly behind the scenes who make all the difference. They're the glue holding the mutant world together. Kinda makes you wonder, if they weren't around, how would the big guns ever pull off their missions? Before we dive deeper, here's a real quick ask. If you're new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, please take a second to hit that subscribe button now. It's one small click for you, but a huge deal for us. Number 2. Gamma. Gamma-level mutants are the real deal regarding power, but at the cost of losing the ability to blend in. These mutants are a mix of jaw-dropping abilities and heartbreaking struggles. Their powers often come with a look that screams, "I'm different," and not in a subtle way. For example, take Blink. She can teleport across dimensions, save a team from disaster, or outmaneuver enemies in the blink of an eye. But fitting in? Her lilac skin and pink hair make her stand out like an office worker at Comic-Con. People don't just stare, they judge. Then there's Nightcrawler, the ultimate acrobat with teleportation skills that make your favorite action hero look clumsy. He's heroic, kind, and an amazing fighter, but with the blue fur, glowing yellow eyes, and devilish tail, people don't see a hero, they see a monster. It doesn't help when he's using his awesome abilities to wreck the Secret Service like in X2. And let's talk about Mystique. She can shapeshift into anybody she wants, so blending isn't an issue, but like we saw in First Class, it's kinda hard to accept yourself when the world only accepts your mask. Gamma mutants are extraordinary, but their powers come with a price. Their powers are a gift, but their appearances are what makes them strange among all the other mutants. Number 3. Epsilon. In the world of X-Men, not every mutant gets to be the show's star. Some can control the weather or read minds, but then there are Epsilon-level mutants, the underdogs of the mutant world, if you can even call them that. Their powers often feel more like life hurdles than superhero perks. Take Arty Maddicks. His mutation left him pink, hairless, and unable to speak, with his only gift being the ability to project holograms of his thoughts. It may be cool for a game of charades, but it's not that helpful when a villain is tearing up the city. And it's not just Arty. Some Epsilon mutants have abilities that sound like punchlines. Summoning lint, anyone? Others, like Beak, look wildly different but don't have the skills to match the aesthetic. For many Epsilons, their mutations aren't just inconvenient, they're isolating. Think about it. How do you walk through life when your differences are so openly on display, and people can't stop staring? That's why places like the Morlocks underground community exist, a refuge for those who've had enough of society's judgment. And let's be real, not every mutant gets a pass like Cyclops or Jean Grey. For many, there's no hiding. But here's the thing, Epsilon mutants might not be saving the world, but they're really, really resilient. They adapt, and they survive, which is heroic in its own way. Number 4. Beta. The X-Men universe is packed with mutants flaunting crazy abilities, but beta-level mutants are where things start to get kind of interesting. These guys are powerful, no doubt, just a step below the alphas, but their power comes with a quirk that makes life complicated. Think of them as the more relatable rock stars of the mutant world. Take, for example, Wolverine. He's got a healing factor that's practically invincible. Shoot him, stab him, blow him up, he bounces back faster than Ryan Reynolds' career after Deadpool. Sounds awesome, right? But here's the catch. His body is always in overdrive, constantly repairing itself. He also has the claws. There's no off switch or downtime. It's not just a power, it's his whole existence. Then there's Gambit, the charming wild card. Literally, he can charge everyday objects, like playing cards, with explosive energy. But don't let the smooth moves fool you. It's kinda difficult to fit in with everyday society with those glowing red eyes. Also, Quicksilver, the speedster. Running circles around everyone is his thing, but living life at hyperspeed isn't exactly fun in games. It's isolating, exhausting, and sometimes downright overwhelming. And Rogue? The ability to absorb memories and powers sound like a cheat code, until you remember that touching anyone can mean taking too much. Even a handshake is a gamble for her. Beta mutants show us that life isn't always smooth sailing. Even with superpowers, they face struggles, they have to adapt, and they have to remember that sometimes you have a double-edged sword. Number 5. Alpha. Alpha-level mutants are the ones who make power look easy. They don't just have insane abilities, they've mastered them, and usually they don't have that many drawbacks. It's like they've got a remote control for their powers, on when they need them, gone when they're not. They can usually blend in and live normal lives, but step into superhero mode whenever they want. Take Kitty Pryde. She can walk through walls like it's nothing, but here's the thing, she has complete control over those powers, no accidental ghosting through the floor. Now, that's what makes alpha-level mutants stand out. It's about skill, control, and, cosmic good luck. Dazzler's another example. She can turn sound into lights or deadly lasers. Yeah, she's turning noise into energy. Imagine you could take your iPhone's ringtone and turn it into a powerful laser beam. That's a party trick no one's gonna ask you to do twice. Then there's guys like Colossus, the gentle Russian giant who's usually pretty chill, but at the flick of a switch, he can become indestructible. He's a humble dude, and then he's a metal giant. He's the perfect blend of strength and humility. Cyclops too. He turned his uncontrollable energy blasts into pinpoint precision. The downside is that he's the sunglasses at night guy we all make fun of, but I-beams, so probably worth it. Alpha mutants don't just have power, they know exactly when and how to use it. It's not about being a walking weapon, it's also about knowing your strengths and using them wisely. Number 6. Omega. Omega-level mutants are in a league of their own. Their powers don't just break the mold, they rewrite the rules completely. Think of them as the universe's ultimate cheat code. These mutants don't just push boundaries, they shatter them. Reality, time, physics, those are just kind of suggestions for Omega mutants. Take Jean Grey. Her telepathy isn't just reading your thoughts or telekinetically moving a chair. No, she can rewrite existence itself as if she's, knitting a scarf. And then there's Magneto. Controlling magnetism sounds kind of like nothing until you think about it for a minute. He doesn't stop at bending spoons or tossing around pieces of metal. He can tear apart buildings, mess with the Earth's entire magnetic field, rip the iron out of someone's blood, and cause chaos on a planetary scale. And Franklin Richards? This guy takes it up a notch. He doesn't just bend reality, he creates entire universes like he's doodling in a notebook. Want a new world? Franklin's your guy. Proteus is another mind-bender, reshaping the world's physics to suit his whims. The laws of nature? Proteus says, nah. Storm, a weather goddess in her own right, conjures hurricanes and tornadoes like she's flipping through the Weather Channel. Her only limit is how far her imagination can stretch. Omega mutants aren't just really powerful, they're also the best at what they do, because they have to be. If they lose control, it can be devastating for everybody. These mutants are titans of the Marvel Universe, walking reminders that extraordinary isn't just a word, it's a reality they create. And then there's number 7, Omicron. Omicron-level mutants take things far beyond the idea of a rock star. Those whose powers are so over the top they make regular Omega-level mutants look like a warm-up act. These folks bend reality like it's Play-Doh, rewrite the rules of existence, and even break the fourth wall just for kicks. But what exactly does it mean to be beyond Omega, and why does Marvel even have that classification? Let's break it down. Being Omega level means a mutant's powers are limitless in one specific area, like Jean Grey's powerful telepathy or Iceman's cold control. But Omicron? That's a different ballgame. Think about characters like Franklin Richards, who rebuilt the universe after the Secret Wars. Not a mutant, you say? True, but his powers were so wild they mimicked the X gene, confusing even the best of them. Or take Legion, whose brain is a cosmic roulette wheel of over 200 Omega-level personalities. That's like carrying an entire mutant army around in your head. Sounds exhausting. And then there's Matthew Malloy, whose power spike was so dangerous Marvel had to retcon him from existence. It's not just raw power, it's the scale and unpredictability that push these mutants, or mutant-like beings, into a category all their own. But here's the kicker: Marvel loves shaking things up, so these overpowered titans rarely stick around. After all, where's the drama when one character can just snap their fingers and fix everything? And that's our list. So, what do you think? Is a higher classification always better, or is it nicer to fly under the radar? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more of these deep dives and strange lore. See you in the next video.